You know that phrase, nobody's perfect? It's like the ultimate safety net. We just sort of expect to fall short.
Yeah, we really do.
But today we're doing an excerpt from Pastor Chris's Rhapsody of Realities to test a pretty radical mission. What if assuming you will inevitably sin is actually stunting your growth?
Right. It's a huge shift.
We are unpacking a framework that argues looking at failure as unavoidable means you're stuck viewing things from man's perspective and completely missing God's.
Exactly. I mean, the text anchors this whole concept in 1 John chapter 2, where the Apostle John breaks spiritual life into three distinct stages. You have little children, young men, and fathers.
Okay.
And what really stands out is that John exclusively associates the act of sinning with that little children stage.
Okay, let's unpack this. Are we talking about a literal, toddler phase here? Because when a kid is learning to walk, you fully expect them to stumble.
Right. Okay.
You pick them up, dust them off. But if a 30-year-old is still crawling around the living room, you realize there's a serious developmental issue.
That is precisely the metaphor the author is building here. The text argues that our spiritual culture has essentially, normalized 30-year-olds crawling.
Wow, yeah.
We have taken the stumbling phase, which is supposed to be temporary, and just accepted it as a permanent state of existence.
So if struggling with sin is just for the toddlers, how did we get this flawed human operating system to begin with? I mean, why is it our default setting?
Well, the author points to the treasonable disobedience of the first man, citing Romans 5:12. Think of that first man like patient zero in a genetic disease.
Patient zero, okay.
Yeah, his treason didn't just break a rule, it fundamentally corrupted the human source code. It injected the inevitability of sin into human nature. But then, the text introduces the solution. Jesus functioning as the second Adam.
Wait, why a second Adam? Why not just forgive the first guy's mistake?
Because a simple pardon doesn't fix the corrupted code. The text references 2 Corinthians 5:21 to explain that Jesus didn't just offer a software patch. He actually became sin for us, paying the penalty to introduce an entirely new, uncorrupted operating system.
So it's not just a quick fix.
Right. It is not just wiping the slate clean.
Yeah.
It is a complete hardware replacement.
Hold on, I need to push back here. If we have this brand new, uncorrupted system, why do people still mess up?
That is the big question.
And if there's a safety net, I mean, the text mentions 1 John 17 and this automatic cleansing. Doesn't that just give someone a free pass to do whatever they want? Like, why wouldn't I just stay a toddler, keep crawling, and enjoy the safety net?
It's a totally fair question. But the text clarifies that sinning simply reveals you haven't realized your new nature yet. You are choosing to crawl when you actually have the capacity to walk.
Oh, I see.
And that automatic cleansing, it isn't a license to rebel. The provision is specifically for those who are walking in the light.
Walking in the light, right.
Yes. It means living with total transparency before God. If you're doing that and you stumble, the blood of Jesus acts as an immediate cleanser. The goal isn't to ignore mistakes, but to prevent you from being trapped by condemnation so you can keep growing.
So walking in the light is really about shedding that hidden shame. The author uses this empowering phrase, walking in the light of your righteousness.
Yeah, it's a great phrase.
That represents a massive psychological shift for you, the listener. It's moving away from a life of constant guilt and trying to just, survive the day, to living above sin, above Satan, and above the elements of the world.
Which brings us to the life of the fathers. That is the final stage of spiritual maturity. Reaching this stage means fully understanding this new, uncorrupted nature.
The hardware replacement.
Exactly. The text cites Romans 6:14, which states that sin no longer has dominion over you. In practical terms, that means sin is no longer your master or your default reflex.
Wow.
You aren't just a forgiven sinner. Your fundamental nature has changed to the point where righteousness is your new natural reflex.
This really demands a total rewrite of that comforting yet limiting idea that to err is human. The text is challenging readers to step completely out of that mindset and into spiritual adulthood.
It really does.
Yeah.
It asks the reader to stop identifying with the flawed human operating system and start identifying with the new source code.
Which leaves you with this final thought to chew on. If you truly reach that father stage, if you actually internalize that sin has no dominion over you, and you stop seeing yourself as permanently flawed, how does that change the way you view the mistakes of others? Do you lose your patience for people who are still stumbling in the dark? Or does recognizing your own transformation make you the ultimate guide to help them learn to walk?
We trust you were blessed by this episode. To gain unlimited access to Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris, please download the Rhapsody app using the link myapp.rhapsodyofrealities.org. God bless you.